Griffin Johnson, the Armchair Historian, presents a captivating journey through the evolution of German tanks, focusing on those produced in significant numbers and highlighting a few notable interwar prototypes. Germany's initial steps into armored warfare began during the Great War with the Sturmpanzerwagen A7V, or Sturmpanzerwagen A7V. Developed in response to British tanks appearing on the Western Front in 1916, the A7V was quickly prototyped and entered production about a year later. Hand-manufactured, no two A7Vs were identical. Although as effective as the British Mark IV, only a small number were built, seeing action in limited engagements before the war ended. Post-defeat in World War I, Germany ceased tank production until the Treaty of Rapallo in 1922 allowed the creation of the Kama Tank School near Kazan in the Soviet Union. Here, German companies secretly competed to produce new tank designs. The first major entry was the Grosstraktor, or large tractor, a 16-ton tracked vehicle with two turrets, one with a 75mm cannon and the other with a 7.92mm machine gun. 6 prototypes were tested but rejected for mass production. Ironically, the Soviets benefited most, using it to inspire their own multi-turreted tanks, like the T-28. During this period, several prototypes of a lighter vehicle, code-named the Leichttraktor, were built by Krupp and Rheinmetall. Armed with a 37mm cannon and capable of speeds up to 19 miles per hour, these prototypes provided crucial insights into better vehicle designs with improved ergonomics and crew layouts. Despite the shortcomings of the Grosstraktor, some German officers clung to the outdated concept of tanks as land battleships. In 1934, the enormous 3-turreted Neubaufahrzeug was constructed. While it served as a propaganda tool, it proved useless on the battlefield due to its slow speed and weak armor. Fortunately for the Wehrmacht, more practical designs were in development. The first of these was the Panzer I, an infantry support tank. Armed with twin light machine guns, over 100 Panzer I's participated in the Spanish Civil War, marking the first combat for German tanks since World War I. This experience was vital for developing Germany's armored doctrine. The Panzer I saw combat in nearly every Second World War theater, with its chassis used for early tank destroyers and self-propelled guns. Despite a shift towards heavier vehicles, delays led to the interim design of the Panzer II, or Panzer II. Armed with a 20mm autocannon, this light tank could punch above its weight. Panzer IIs formed the bulk of the Wehrmacht's armored divisions during the invasion of Poland and were effective in most engagements. They served until the war's end, with the chassis forming the basis for specialized vehicles like the Marder II tank destroyer and Wespe self-propelled artillery. By 1937, production of heavier vehicles began with 10 prototypes of the Panzer III, or Panzer III medium tank. Its superior ergonomics allowed the crew to operate more efficiently than their French or British counterparts. The prototypes saw limited combat during the invasion of Poland, providing insights into the design's strengths and weaknesses. By the invasion of France, the Panzer III had been upgraded to the Ausführung E, with thicker armor and improved suspension. Despite often being outgunned, the Panzer III's excellent leadership, coordination, and radio communication allowed it to outmaneuver French tanks. The Panzer III continued to evolve, and by the North Africa campaign, most were equipped with a short-barreled 50mm cannon, standardized with the variant H. However, encounters with American tanks and Russian tanks like the KV-1 and T-34 revealed its weaknesses. Adolf Hitler ordered upgrades, resulting in the variant L with spaced armor around the turret mantlet and upper hull. The Panzer III reached its ultimate evolution with the variant M, featuring a deep wading exhaust for river crossings and Schertzen armor panels. The Panzer IV Another medium tank began production in the 1930s following extensive prototype designs. Initially, these infantry support tanks lobbed high-explosive shells from short 75mm cannons to destroy enemy bunkers and machine gun nests. They excelled at this role and dealt effectively with lightly armored vehicles, like those used by the Polish army. Like its smaller counterpart, the Panzer IV received extensive upgrades before the invasion of France, resulting in the variant D with better suspension and improved armor. Despite its early war success, the Panzer IV was outgunned by British and American tanks. In early 1941, the variant F1 increased frontal armor to 50mm and turret armor by 30mm. The suspension was redesigned, but the short-barreled cannon was inadequate at long range. In November 1941, the Panzer IV received a long-barreled 75mm cannon, initially known as the variant F2, later renamed variant G after additional armor plating. By 1944, the Panzer IV reached its full potential with the variant H, featuring Sturmpanzerwagen panels. However, supply shortages led to the simplified variant J, which removed the turret motor and replaced the Sturmpanzerwagen with wire mesh. Despite this, the Panzer IV faithfully served the Wehrmacht until the war's end. Plans for larger and more powerful vehicles existed since 1935. After the Neubaufahrzeug's failure, German engineers developed prototypes that evolved into the iconic Tiger I, or Tiger I. With thick armor and an 88mm cannon, the Tiger I was a terrifying battlefield force. Arguably over-engineered, fewer than 2,000 were produced. Though effective, its real shortcoming was the limited number of units available. Hitler believed the issue lay in size and armament, leading to the Tiger Ausführung B, or Tiger II. This oversized vehicle drained Germany's resources rapidly. Inferior welding led to chassis cracks, and supply shortages meant many Tiger IIs were abandoned due to a lack of parts and fuel. The Tiger II caused more panic among German mechanics than enemy troops. Not all late war designs were impractical. In 1943, the Allies encountered the Panther, envisioned as a Panzer IV replacement. With sloped frontal armor, a 75mm gun, and speeds up to 34 miles per hour, the Panther was large yet not overly expensive to produce. Around 6,000 were built between 1943 and 1945. The initial version, Variant D, was modified to mount a new cupola and eliminate driver vision slit weak spots. Side armor panels were added after vulnerability to 14.5mm anti-tank rifles was proven. Although the Panther had reliability issues and parts shortages, it remained one of the best late-war tanks fielded by the German military. Despite the Tiger and Panther's capabilities, they could not prevent the Nazi regime's downfall. For years, Germany relied on American or Soviet equipment. In 1956, the Bundeswehr began developing domestic tanks again, leading to the Leopard 1, a main battle tank prioritizing mobility over thick armor. Regarded as one of the best tanks on the market, the Leopard 1 saw combat during the Bosnian War. Improvements continued, but a joint American-German super tank project, the MBT Sebzig, was cancelled. The Bundeswehr proceeded with the Leopard 2, taking advantage of advances in armor and fire control technology. The Leopard 2 is considered Europe's best tank, competitive with the American M1 Abrams. It remains Germany's primary main battle tank, with 7 versions produced domestically. If you enjoyed this content, visit our channel for more stories like this. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Also, let us know in the comments where you are watching from.